Okay, folks, guess what? It's the 21st of September and we're live at the Jeffersontown Library right now. Welcome. Uh-oh, trouble already. You calling the meeting to order. And we already covered the date. Did everybody sign up? Sign in? I guess so. Excellent. Thank you. Did everybody mute their phones? Well, not everyone, but most people did. If you didn't, now would be a good time to do that. We do have a new member this month, Grant Gilman. And Grant is a young man, actually. He's the son of a K&I member, Kevin Gilman, who doesn't often come to our meetings. Sometimes he joins online, but he's a regular at the K&I and Metal Railroad Club. And I'm not sure how old Grant is, but he's a young fellow. We're anxious to have him. So a new young person for us. So that's a good thing. Visitors. I don't think we have any visitors in the room today except Brenda's here. We haven't seen Brenda in a while. Brenda's not really a visitor, but we don't get to see her very often. Cecil too, sometimes, not always here, but nice to see Cecil and Brenda. And Russ, do you have any visitors online?
No, matter of fact, I think they're all at the pool. We're kind of light here on Zoom.
You have one visitor. Who is Edward Brennan?
Oh.
Sending a pager your way, Ron.
Okay. Ed's with us. We don't get to see Ed very often. Nice to see you, Ed.
Thank you. Still fighting that return from the virus.
Yep. If you don't know, Ed's been slightly under the weather with some COVID difficulties. So nice to see you, Ed. Minutes from the last meeting. Rick, do you have those with you to read?
Put them online.
Oh, you put them online. Well,
it just took me a while. Actually, I have done. I wrote them up about a week after the meeting. I had them all done. It just took me. I lost them on the computer. It took me a week or so to find them again.
All right. Well, if you'd like to know the minutes from the last meeting, if you happen to miss it, they are online. You can read them there on the Division 8 website. We could bring them up and read them unless somebody wants to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve them and post it on the website.
Fred, thank you.
Second that.
Rob Toller seconded it. Thank you, Rob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, thank goodness. Treasurer's report. Mike Berry.
In a second. There we go. Hi, treasurer's report for this month. On the expenses side, we had, so that's it, treasurer's report. Any questions? About anything?
Do you have any comments about the interest change this week?
The fact we're going to be getting less interest now.
Yeah, everybody wants the interest.
Yeah, we all want
down, but not us. We want it to stay up.
Yeah. So it, you take interest away over here, and because they're added over on this side. So go figure. But we will probably get slightly less interest, I would think now. But
any other questions about Mike's report? Can we have a motion to approve Mike's report? Stan, with a second by Mark. Thank you. All those in favor of approving Mike's report?
Aye.
Any opposed? Better not be.
Amen there.
Thank you, Mike.
I concur with that.
Okay, we're moving into the committee reports now. Having some trouble with my video today, and guess what? The first committee report is member welfare. Mike, is there any member welfare report this month?
Well, I wish I could say no, but there is one name up there, and it's mine. It's been a busy month for me, let's put it that way. I had my second knee replacement, which went great, you know, in and out of the hospital in 5.5 hours. No big deal there. But then 2 weeks ago, I got sick. Ended up in the hospital with an infection. Was there 4 days. And still building back up from that, but I'm fine. I'll be good. No problem. But yeah, that's the name of it.
That independent of your need?
Yes.
Did Teresa send you a card from the name?
No, we didn't do that. We didn't burn one of Teresa's handmade cards just to move it.
Waste on Mike, yeah, go ahead and say it.
No, we're good. Not gonna say it. But
Independent of your need?
independent of the need, yeah. So as soon as I hit the ER, they were trying to connect the two, the doctors were, but the knees found this was altogether UTI kind of thing, different. So anyway, that's more information anybody wants to know. So. But at any rate, that's it for member welfare for the month.
We're glad you're here and back on your feet, Mike.
Yeah, me too. Believe it. It was
We need you.
weird there for a while.
Okay, Mark Norman has some things to tell us about the achievement program. We haven't seen Mark in a couple of months, but
Yeah, well, I'm back.
he's got he's back and he's got an award or two.
Randy Bridge, come on up. It's your award.
I want some smiles.
Smiles, okay. So Randy's fulfilled the requirements for model railroad author, probably achieved them a decade or so ago, but finally turned into paperwork.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's nice you can achieve something now that you did years ago.
You know,
That's great.
Okay, both of you look at me. Okay.
We don't have term limits on achievement. Just a few brief words. We're gonna have an evaluation of 5 cars in the structure after the meeting if you want to see how that works. And then a little bit later, Peter's coming with, get this whole matrix out there. It's on the national website, but it's easier if we put a link directly in ours. How do we evaluate things? It's really pretty straightforward. You know, how difficult was it? How well did you do on it? That sort of thing. And the whole thing of the achievement program, it's not like the Olympics. We're looking for a winner. We're just trying to help each other become better modelers at the end of the day. And what sort of things we look at. One of them, it's real simple. Tell us your story. If you think of your typical, just one single example, if you think of a locomotive on the road, most of them are dirty because they're out there, you know, earning a living. And then I was looking at one locomotive that goes from Sanford, Florida to Virginia and back again for the auto train. As it turns out, after they disconnect the cars and the passengers are disembarking, the locomotive goes over there, gets serviced, refueled, runs to a wash rack. And the same thing happens other in Virginia. So it only gets a little dust on it. It's like spotless continually. So it's an exception. But you got to tell that story for evaluation. Why does it look a little dirty? But also on the website, there's a list of who can help you. You know, who are people that are willing to help you out in particular specialties on the AP program, like author or builder of cars, what have you. It's all out there. Just go to the achievement program tab and punch it and see what happens. If you get lost, send me an email and I will respond as quickly as I can. So let's go forth and achieve.
Thank you, Mark. If you, by the way, if you notice here, Uncle Sam is not only a Division 8 member, but I think he may be an MMR. Thank you for your creative slide, Fred.
Yeah, I like that.
It's the monthly modeling contest time.
That's right.
Photo finish.
Oh, there you go. That's right. Very much so.
One more of those and you're out of here.
No. Yeah, I used to do old dad jokes all the time, but maybe some will come out today. Who knows? Okay, but before we do all that, I want to have Bruce DeMayer come up. He won our contest last month for Maintenance Away, and he graciously brought his BNSF fire train cars with him today on the display table. So come on up, Bruce, and we'll present you your certificate from last month. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And got it with a big smile. Here's a little folder you can use just to keep it nice and safe.
Thank you, Bruce.
All right. So we do take kind of a break in September and get our cameras out and our cell phones out and make some photos of both models and the prototype, and lots of great results this month for that. So we're going to start actually with the prototype. So with prototype, we had 5 entries, and we had numerous prototypes from all over the country. Honorable mention, we've got Eric Wagner, who went all the way to Montana to see a CSX locomotive. Now that's dedication. Oh, okay. We'll check with Eric and see if his Amtrak train followed. Probably did follow that the whole way on. And then also really interesting from Al Goodman from the St. Louis Museum, helping folks understand how a locomotive works using different colors. So that's a great shot.
I did not see that when I was there.
Yeah, I did.
Did you see the bottom of there though?
So one side is this way and the other side is the prototype.
Maybe I was looking at the other. Maybe I was looking at the other side.
All that way.
Did you see it, Rick? You were there, right? I saw it. You saw it? Yeah. Okay.
So it really does exist.
Yeah.
Okay, for third place, we had a fan favorite, L&N, and that good old paint scheme, the old style paint scheme by Ed Brennan. So congratulations, Ed, for third place.
Did he take that at the Nashville Museum, Tennessee Central?
I think it was Tennessee Central. I remember from the description there. Second place, Bob Frankrone, number 52.
Also at the Tennessee Museum.
Same location. Interesting photo angle there with the details.
Nice composition.
Yeah, first place goes to Russ Weiss, and he did a great shot of the Cass Scenic Railway in West Virginia, one of the Shays in a backup. So congratulations, Russ. We love that photo.
Barbara, you can get the picture.
Is there some harassment going on in the peanut gallery there? Or?
There was. We took your picture online with me pointing at you, so you'll see that, I'm sure, at some point.
Okay.
Okay, moving right along, we're going to do model photos now. And so we had 6 entries. Again, all kinds of variety. So for honorable mention, we've got Bob Frankrone with a scene which is busy, busy, busy. You can see all those trucks lining up for their piggyback ride. Also, honorable mention for Al Goodman, Norfolk Southern locomotives passing each other on the layout there. And then a first-time entry from George Ron, Linwood Furniture, getting in the background, the boxcars there that are opened up with their ladings inside. So thank you, George, for your entry. That's awesome. For third place today, Ed Brennan again. 3 Smokies and 1 photo. Can you see all the Smokies in there?
Yeah.
That was great. And second place, Shamrock Oil, Rick Maloney. Great shot of all of the oil production there and loading.
And scale.
And scale too, that's right. First place, Russ Wise. So it's the executive view from the Michigan Central Business Car number 10. I had the privilege of attaching that to the through passenger train at the last ops session. And Russ, just want you to know, it was a nice smooth coupling. None of the crystalware in the dining room got knocked over. It was great. So congratulations, Russ. It's a double winner today.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So Russ, we're going to catch up with you at the next op session, and I'll have your certificate there. So.
Oh, okay. Well, it's coming up.
Okay, next month, October, steam locomotives. If it's actually propelled by steam, that's what we're looking for. Not that it makes steam, it's got to be propelled by steam. So we should have some great entries for that. And then again, lots of great stuff on the show and tell table. So be sure and check it out. Okay, thanks everyone.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, Barry. And speaking of Russ Weiss, programs, meeting, and upcoming events.
Well, okay. All right. So today, our own Rick Maloney will switch hats and stop being a clerk and give us a presentation. And he's going to be like Houdini today and tell us how to build a disappearing and scale layout. Now, I think the trick will be, can he make it reappear? So stay tuned and find out how Rick does it. And next month, there we go. Thank you. Next month, we're pleased to have Bruce McCohen back. Bruce is going to tell us how he made this helium car. And not only that, but the other part of the presentation will be what actually did they use the helium cars for? Where might they be spotted, or who would have them? And it's quite a unique car, where I didn't realize it, that it's a heavy car. So it had special trucks and 2 sets of brake lines on it. So that should be a very interesting presentation. So let's see. Then in November, Fred's going to tell you how to make those turnouts with the fast track jigs. And if you guys remember that, we now have, I believe it's number 6, code 83 in our library, that perhaps after you watch Fred do this, that it might give you some inspiration to go ahead and make your own turnouts. And believe me, when you make them yourself, it's a whole lot better than most of the commercial ones out there. So looking forward to that one too. So we got a good lineup coming up in the next few months.
And quadruple asterisks, right? Bring and wear your safety glasses, because there'll be metal cutting, metal grinding, and soldering. You might want to bring a face shield. Okay, thank you.
Do we have to have welder's gloves for this?
I don't think you're going to need your gloves for this one.
Okay, all right.
Next Saturday is September 28th, and the Southern Indiana Railroad Club will be having their annual train show at the Presbyterian Church in Jeffersonville. You can easily find it by looking up their website, or look for the Presbyterian Church.
Yes.
Not sure how many tables they have, about 30 tables, I believe, with vendors. We'll have a table there, a small table, with our new rack card display, trying to convert some members or their members into NMRA members between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. So if you have a chance, please attend. And guess what? Last Wednesday, if you notice in the information update, was 60 days until the November train show and sale on November 16th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we have our first chance to sign up to volunteer to help with the train show. So if you accidentally thought that was the meeting sign-up sheet, thank you for signing up for volunteering for helping with the train show. Much appreciated. Now it's time to adjourn, but before you run off to take your break, we have a short segment with Mr. Frankrone.
A little bit of background. About 4 weeks ago, in one of Ron's information updates that he sends out like clockwork every Wednesday, there was a little link about a UP. So I was reading through his information update, and there was a little blurb about the UP STEAM Heritage Heartland Tour by none other than the big boy number 4014. And so I looked to see where it was coming, where it was going, if it was any place close. And the map looked something like this. And there was a little town called Nokomis, Illinois. Very small town, nothing more than a dot on a map. Population about 2,200. So I don't even know, I can't recall seeing a traffic light in town. But anyway, it's about 4.5, 5 hours away. And I thought, here's an opportunity to see a living piece of history. You know, if somebody told you you can see an extinct species like a mastodon or a dinosaur, wouldn't you take the opportunity to go see it? So here is a steam locomotive that had been retired many years ago. I've seen them stuffed and mounted at various museums. I think we saw one in St. Louis, right?
Yeah, right.
There's one up in Green Bay. I've seen 2 or 3 of them throughout the country, but I've never seen one under live steam. And there is only one. So I thought, what an opportunity. Worth the 10-hour drive and a day's investment to go see it for me. So anyway, and by the way, the tour was roughly a 4,000-mile tour. You know, I went through and kind of added up the distances between all the cities. So it got a little bit of a workout. So Nokomis, a one standpipe town. There's the main street downtown. I don't see any traffic lights. I can't recall if there was a traffic light. A lot of small businesses. And this kind of reminded me of, like, you know, it must have been a railroad town back in the day, right? And this has reminded me of, you know, somebody's small switching layout where you have little tiny businesses like this, you know, little Tyco kits or whatever, Cornerstone kits. In fact, I think Cornerstone has that kit, that little oil kit there. So these are all around by the trackside, little buildings like this. You know, just a great little, this was by far the largest industry in town. Some type of silos, whether they're grain, I'm not sure what they are, or even if they're still in use. It looks like it's not derelict. So, you know, who knows? The only fast food in town appeared to be this Dairy Queen, which was doing a thriving business that particular day. So anyway, we get to town, driving through the town, easy to find out where we're going to go because they had the fire department out with the flag and all. And something interesting, I looked at that and I said, let's see, that's a ladder truck, which is taller than any single building in the town. So it must have come from somewhere off, I think, yes.
It's not Tyler taller than those brain cells.
I bet you it is. Extended, I bet you it is. Anyway, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So I wonder where it came from. I can't believe it would be used in the town because you saw the main street. There was nothing more than a 2, maybe 3-story building in town. So it had quite a turnout. Everybody was gathering around trackside. At this part of the tour, the track was 100% straight. And there was plenty of room on either side of the track. Obviously, they picked this location for a reason. It was hard to estimate a crowd. My wife thought there might be as much as 1,000 people there. I would say easily 500 to 700 people there. Again, they were spread out both sides of the track for several hundred feet down the line. Sort of like a carnival atmosphere. They had food vendors serving ice cream, and you can get a sandwich or 2. I didn't take pictures of all of them. They were prepared for the crowd. They had the, you know, the necessities there, the porta potties. So they knew that they were going to get some people coming to town on that particular day. And the weather was absolutely beautiful. You can see that the track, plenty of room on each side, straight as far as the eye can see. And it wasn't long before the star of the show arrived. Now, here's what was interesting. It was scheduled to arrive 3 o'clock Central Time. And I thought, you know, how accurate is that going to be? So we arrived in town. You know, we packed a little picnic lunch and all. We got to town a couple of hours early, about 1 o'clock local time. Found a little park, ate our lunch, and then went to the site around 2 o'clock or so. And 3 minutes till the hour, it pulls up. I mean, you talk about timing, again, on this 4,000-mile trek with all the things that could possibly go wrong. I mean, it was right on time. The thing that amazed me, so I'm photographing it. I actually had my wife take some of the photographs because I didn't want to view it through a lens. I didn't want to view it. I wanted to see this thing firsthand. And I got to tell you, I mean, when it rolled up about this point, I mean, I got a little bit, you know, it was a 90+ degree day, and I'm sitting there a little bit of goosebumps. And the thing that amazed me the most, first of all, how quiet it was. I mean, I expected some kind of clamoring, clanking, whatever. It was as silent as the grave, practically. And the second thing I noticed is how clean it was. Sort of like Mark Norman. Maybe they ran it through the wash racks at every stop, but this thing looked like a brand new River Rossi model out of the box. It was clean. It was shimmering, beautiful sunlit day. It really surprised me. There didn't seem to be, and not only the engine, by the way, and you'll see pictures of these, the string of about a dozen cars also were very, very clean, including the trucks. And it's a monster. I mean, this thing is huge. And what's interesting, the safety video, I viewed it, you know, several days before the trip, 25 feet away, 25, don't get any closer than that. That lasted for about a half a second. Boom, people were swarming within, you know. So I opted not to get that close because I didn't know when they were going to release some steam and have that thing come out, because that'll shoot out 20 feet easily. But that never happened.
Bob, there's only one piece of graffiti on the whole thing. Did you notice?
The big boy. Oh yeah, I noticed that, absolutely. Yeah, this thing was, you can tell. I mean, this thing was immaculate, really. And by the way, it was built, this particular locomotive was built at the Schenectady shops for Alco, American Locomotive Company, in 1941. So this thing is over 80 years old, 82 years old. There's a guy that everybody was envious of that day, I'm sure. Many of us were. This thing was huge. The car, just quickly, the cars behind it, the first two cars, the tender itself has fuel oil and water. Originally it was a coal burner, was built in 41. At some point, I don't know when, they changed it to fuel oil. The tender has the fuel oil plus the water, and the following two cars are water cars, right? Because the infrastructure for steam doesn't exist anymore. You can't get water. When I first saw the fire, there were a couple of fire engines there in addition to the one with the flag. I thought, well, maybe they're there to fill up the tender with water, because I didn't know. But anyway, so you can see, look how clean these things are. Look at the trucks. You know, I love the silver, the UP standard silver trucks there. Very, very clean, considering you're on a 4,000-mile journey. And that flag it's three-dimensional. It's not painted on or anything like this particular one. It stands out from the cars. Interesting. I don't know how it's affixed. And of course, there's the backup power if anything happens, right? It is an 83-year-old locomotive. And the best, if I remember, I think I counted 12 cars, including the tender and the backup locomotive, something like that. And the driving gears aren't particularly giant, but you got to remember there were 16 of them. I love the old-time dome car. And, you know, this is a promotional tour, right? So experience the Union Pacific. So naturally, everything's really clean. They want to tout their brand. And that was the in-car. And there we are to document our stay there. And Ron, where'd Ron go? Will this play?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I need to do. There you go. Thank you. 30-second video. It's not very long. Just so you can see it under power.
We got a couple of guys walking out in front of the train wanting to keep the fans off the track.
But it was just absolutely gorgeous. It was real, you know, really a sight to behold.
Even the water ejection is beautiful.
And that's it. So if you ever get a chance to see this living piece of history, I would highly recommend that you go see it. It was on my bucket list several years ago when it was in St. Louis. I had a conflict. I couldn't go to see it. And I thought, well, maybe I'd have to go out west somewhere and see it, because I think it tours maybe more frequently out there. I'm not sure. And then when Ron sent his information update and I saw that it was coming, I said, I'm going to go see it. I didn't know whether it was Nokomis, St. Louis. Somebody even suggested south. So
you're 5 hours up there, 5 hours.
5 hours up there and 5 hours back. Yeah, I don't drive fast anymore at my age. So, you know, it's a lot of two-lane road driving because it's not off the interstate. So fair amount of interstate. All right, thank you.
Take a 5-minute break now while we prepare for Rick's presentation. Fred, start the clock.